Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Donna Antar, one of the medical advisors with Jeunesse Global, and I'm on the phone here this afternoon with Dr. William Amzalog. Today, myself and Dr. Amzalog are going to talk about Finiti, one of our brand new products, because it is truly, everybody says things are breakthrough, but this is something that is not available anywhere else, and it is one of the most amazing things that has happened in anti-aging or youth enhancement. Today we're going to talk about, you might have seen the e-blast, you'll see that we're kind of breaking this up into 3 calls because there's just so much to talk about with Finiti. So we're kind of going to do sort of like a top 10 of Finiti, all the different things that you just want to know about Finiti so that you can understand how important it is for you to take, for anybody that you care about. You want them to take this product. We're going to start with the claims, the things that we can say about Finiti, about an ingredient in Finiti that no one else can say because we have that ingredient. And then Dr. Amzalog is going to take over, and he's going to really tell you about the physiology, the science, what is the basis of all this from a more scientific and research point of view. So to get going, the key word here is the word telomere. Exactly what a telomere is, don't worry about it. Just know that it's extremely important. And Dr. Amzalog is going to go over what it is and how it works and all those different things in the second half of the call. But the most important thing to know about our telomeres is that when they're short in our cells appear and act older. When the telomeres are long, those same cells act and appear younger. They function more like, or actually indistinguishable from a younger cell. So most important thing, short telomeres bad, old, age, young, long telomeres good, youthful, young cells. And young cells, and the whole purpose of young cells is young cells work better. Young cells do have better functions in the body. So that's the key critical underlying point. Another key point of the fact that we can say, and the claim is, contains the only known patented nutrient shown to lengthen short telomeres in humans. And that's number 1. Contains the only known patented nutrient shown to lengthen short telomeres in humans. Few key points to that claim that we can make. 1, only known nutrient. By the way, there's not drugs that do this either. There's no drug that does this, and there's no other known nutrient that can do this. And when I say can do this, I mean do this in a way that's helpful and safe. They have tried to develop drugs. Of course, companies have tried to develop drugs that do this. But it's turned out that they're not safe, and they have bad side effects instead of just all good effects. Everything that they've shown with this patented nutrient Finiti shows good effects, and there is research to back that up. The other thing is that this is the most extensively studied nutrient about lengthening short telomeres in humans. There is a clinical trial, actually it is still continuing even though they've already published data from it. It started in 2007. It's extremely significant. It had 114, I believe, people in the study and still in the study. The first set of data that they published was in 2011. And this is huge because it's one thing to study and look at what nutrients do in what they call in vitro or in a test tube, in a lab, in a petri dish, outside of the body, basically, outside of an animal's body or a human body. Then it's another thing to do studies inside with living organisms, but they're animal studies. They're not human studies. But our nutrient, which is called, by the way, TA65MD, Finiti, is the nutrient that has been shown to lengthen short telomeres in humans. And this is a very huge claim. If any other person you come across or any other product makes that claim, let me know, because no other no other nutrient has ever been shown to do that, and they shouldn't be. This is not good. We want to help our whole industry and the nutritional industry make sure that other companies are not saying things that they don't have enough evidence to make certain claims. So we can make that claim, and that is incredibly huge. Now, when you think about telomeres, by the way, telomeres are inside your cells. So we're talking about cells. We're talking about cellular aging. Now, what do your cells do? Your cells make up your tissues and or your organs. So there's cells that make up your heart. You have heart cells, you have liver cells, and that makes up the tissue in your heart and your liver. And then all of those components make you, right? They make me. They make Dr. Amsalog. So all of those different cells all have telomeres. A specific cell I just want to talk about right now, we're going to get into more detail in the subsequent calls, but one cell I want you to think about is a cell I'm sure you've heard about. I'm sure you've heard about your own stem cells. The stem cells are adult stem cells. The stem cells that are present in our body, they're already in our body from the moment we're born. Now, those cells have telomeres too. So the whole purpose of us being humans, having stem cells in our body, is so that those stem cells can help become virtually any other cell in the body. So those stem cells can become liver cells or brain cells or kidney cells, whatever our body needs. It's one of our body's natural rejuvenation mechanisms. However, the stem cells' telomeres, they get short too. And Dr. Amsalog is going to tell you why do the telomeres get short? What happens that telomeres get short? But stem cells, their telomeres are going to get short too. And that means that those stem cells that are, again, meant to help us in our rejuvenation process, they're not going to work as good because they're going to act more like old stem cells. So you can see how it's really vital that this is one of the underlying mechanisms for how our body is able to stay youthful, vital, and strong. Now, this nutrient, we've just said claim number one, it can lengthen short telomeres in humans. How does it do that? Well, claim number two is that it transiently, meaning intermittently, temporarily, activates telomerase. Notice the difference between the word telomerase and telomeres. Telomerase is the enzyme that works with your telomeres. I'm not going to go into the details. That's Dr. Amsalog's part. But this is the enzyme that the body uses to add length to our telomeres. You see, this is a natural process. Adding length to our telomeres is a natural process of the body. It's just that we don't always do it so good, and we tend to do the things that make them shorter more, and that's where our body gets into trouble. So, and the important part was the beginning of the claim number two, that it transiently activates telomerase, that enzyme. Think of it as a spigot or a water faucet. It doesn't just turn it on full blast. You wouldn't want that because, remember, the body is all about balance. It's all about having not too much of this and not too little of that. You have to be able to have the body work in a balanced state to get the ultimate in health and vitality. So the fact that our nutrient Finiti transiently activates telomerase is an extremely good thing. It is a natural process type of thing, so it keeps the whole balance of our telomeres and the enzyme in the natural flow. So that's really important. Number three really important claim that we can make is that this ingredient Finiti supports the delay in cellular aging, especially in or including the immune system cells. Now, this is vital because I talked earlier about cellular aging and stem cells, right? And that's obviously a really important part of our body's rejuvenation system. But our immune system is another extremely important part of our ability to remain healthy and strong. So our immune system, just for a brief overview, most of our immune system is made up of cells. We have killer cells and B cells and T cells and, all these different cells are what make up our immune system. And the immune system does much more than, most people think of the immune system as, oh, it's what prevents you from getting infections. You know, it's what can fight off bacteria and viruses. Well, that's true. But our immune system does even more than that. It also helps police or monitor all of the other cells of the body. It is an incredibly important part of our physiology that's a little harder to conceptualize because it's not like an organ. It's not like your heart. You know, you conceptualize your heart. It's right there. It's three-dimensional. You can feel it. You can see models of it and those kinds of things. But our immune system is a little more nebulous in the sense that it's not coming or it's not a separate or distinct organ. It's really throughout our entire physiology. And the thing that has been shown in this human study is that they found that the cells of the immune system also had their telomeres lengthened, so that those cells, according to the study, were basically reverted to a younger cell, to a younger type of cell, a younger immune system cell. And if you think about it, this is going to wind up being one of the most important parts of this whole concept of adding length to our short telomeres. So we can do all of those three things that no one else can talk about. And number 4, we have the amount of this ingredient that has been shown in these clinical studies to support these claims. So in other words, there is enough, if not some more, when you take the amount on the box or the bottle, when you take that recommended amount, which is 2 capsules once a day, and then another 2 capsules in the second part of the day. And, you know, just space them out. If you do it every 12 hours, great, but if you do it 8 or 9 hours, that's fine too. But it definitely is more effective if you're taking it twice a day rather than once a day, which is why we said 2 twice a day. And the amount that is in that amount, 4 capsules total, 2 twice a day, is the amount that has been shown in the clinical studies to support all of those breakthrough. No other company can claim that their product does those three things. So that's number 4, that the amount that is in our product has been backed by clinical evidence. And by the way, some of those studies specifically on that nutrient, TA65MD, are in your back office. The abstracts of them are in your back office. If you want to take a look, you can do that. Now, what you may not know is that number 5, this whole science of telomeres and telomerase and what it does and what it is and what is a telomere and all those different things won the Nobel Prize. The group of scientists that really discovered how our chromosomes and our genes are protected by telomeres and that enzyme, telomerase, won the Nobel Prize. And to tell you exactly what telomeres are, what happens to cells when their telomeres get short, why and how do telomeres get short, and all a bunch of other things that I'm sure Dr. Amzalog has up his sleeve, is I am very proud to introduce to you Dr. William Amzalog, medical doctor and advisory board physician with Jeunesse Global.
Thank you very much for what you have said. It's very, very important. So I will continue by 3 things. The first, we're going to talk about telomeres, we're going to talk about telomerase, and we're going to see if lengthening telomeres will reverse aging. So the first things to understand is what are telomeres, and then we have to go about 40 to 50 years ago when a scientist in Philadelphia, Professor Herflick, finds something very surprising. He finds out that when a cell duplicates, they become senescent or die after 50 to 60 duplication. And that was very surprising, and that was the first time that we have shown that. But he didn't know why. And he supposed that there was a tic-tac biological clock inside the cells and probably inside the nucleus. And it took a little time before the scientists find that it was not exactly that, almost that, but they find out this top, of the DNA in each cell, which are like protecting the DNA, which are still DNA. Some people call them garbage DNA, but it's not exactly that. And they find out that at each duplication, this end of DNA shorten and shorten and shorten until they get no more top, no more shoelaces, and they become what we call senescent. The fact that the cells doesn't have any more protection put the cells in a very embarrassing situation. They have either to die to self-time, which is called apoptosis, or they are sending some very bad molecule to the surrounding. Anyway, it's not a good thing when these cells start to be senescent. And we find out that now the tic-tac clock, the biological clock, was not anymore in the central of the cells, but at the top of each DNA that we have in our 60 trillion cells. And that was very important. So then, several years after, a scientist which won the Nobel Prize, Professor Blackburn, find out something very surprising. The first thing that they find is that, telomeres are shortening in all our body, everywhere, in the 60 trillion cells, except in two kinds of cells, which are the spermatozoid and the ovula. We call them the germinal cells, germinal cells. Why in these cells the telomeres never shorten? Well, it makes sense, because if you have a spermatozoid which have short telomere and an ovula which have short telomeres, what will happen to the baby when he was born, considering that there was thousands of duplication before borning, he will born like an old man of 80 years old, because he will have no more long telomeres all over the body. So it was normal that these type of cells have permanently long telomeres. So she find out why, because in those cells, there is an enzyme which is activated by a gene. A gene which is normally sleeping will activate an enzyme which is in every cell anyway. This enzyme called telomerase, and Professor Blackburn coined it telomerase, was sleeping all the time but exists everywhere. The only thing is how to activate it. And this is this enzyme which activates telomerase. And when activate this telomerase act as a rebuilder. Each time that the DNA shortens, the telomere short, they bring back DNA, and so on, and so on, and so on, each time. And this is really magnificent to see how the telomere can rebuild DNA at the end of the telomeres at the end of the DNA. So the point was now, can we find something which will mimic or will activate permanently or transiently this gene? And that's the role of a company called Geron Corporation, which 10 years ago have started to do that. And they found that there is one special ingredient coming from China called astragalus, which have thousands of active ingredients inside, but some very specific ingredients were able to play this role, which means activate the gene, which in turn activate telomerase. And they done thousands of studies, and then after they sold their result to another company called TA Science, which in turn give us the worldwide exclusive for direct cells. So from this TA65 ingredient, which is coming from astragalus roots, we build a product called Finiti. Now, this Finiti has, of course, TA65, but it doesn't have only TA65. And we will see in the next probably series what this product can do, but basically this product is able to do what? To fight against DNA damage, to activate telomerase, and to also protect stem cells as we understood. You know, protecting stem cells is also very important because they have DNA like every other cell. So Finiti combines 4 targets: DNA repair, telomerase activation, stem cells pool maintenance, and what we call calorie mimetic activator, which is again activating another gene called sirtuin gene will activate longevity. So we have a full product which in my opinion it's even much more potent than only the TA65. And well, we can talk hours and hours about that, but I think that the next time we will go more in detail in ingredient. Now, the third thing was, okay, if we lengthen telomeres, does it mean reversing aging? I'm not telling you preventing premature aging. I'm not telling delaying aging. I'm talking about reversing aging. Is it possible? So there is many studies showing that using reactivating telomerase or reactivating the gene will reverse aging. And I think that I will keep all the other story for the next one, for the next meeting, and maybe, Donna, I can give you back the webcast of the podcast. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Amzalog. It is truly phenomenal, and you know what we are talking about here is cellular aging. We're talking about, that's the tagline for Finiti. Cellular aging ends here. And we are definitely going to talk about lots more things and all sorts of more benefits. And like Dr. Amzalog said, it's not only the TA65 ingredient. Finiti is a very special blend. And we're going to get more into that in some of the other calls. This call is going to happen every other Wednesday. The next one therefore will not be next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. You should receive an e-blast about it also. And also this call is being recorded and will be posted in the back office in the next 48, 72 hours because we've got a holiday here in the U.S. And look forward to talking to all of you soon. Thank you so much, Dr. Amzalog. And good night, good afternoon, depending on where in the world you are. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much, all of you. It's 9 o'clock here in Europe. Bye-bye.
Well, welcome everyone to the call. This is Dr. Donna Antar, and I am on the Medical Advisory Board here at this amazing company with phenomenal anti-aging and youth-enhancing products, Jeunesse Global. I am very honored today to be on the phone with another Medical Advisory Board member from Jeunesse Global, and that is Dr. William Amzalog. Last week we touched on the very basic of what Finiti is, about telomeres. Dr. Amzalog did an incredible background on telomeres, what they are, the history of telomere support, and what telomeres do for the body. What we would do on this call as a continuation of that is to pretty much cover, anything that we didn't really get to cover on the last call, and then maybe touch on a little bit the other ingredients that we have in Finiti, because Finiti is a proprietary blend of ingredients that includes the ingredient TA65MD exclusive to in-network marketing to Jeunesse, that has been shown to lengthen short telomeres in humans. And there's even more to Finiti than that, if you can even imagine that that's possible. So I thought we would maybe talk a little bit about those kinds of why we made the product the way we did as a blend of other nutrients. We talk about the benefits of Finiti and the features of Finiti. It contains the only known a nutrient shown to lengthen short telomeres in humans. It transiently activates telomerase, the enzyme that is responsible for adding length to our short telomeres, and that's really important because this is what nature does. This is what nature does anyway. The question is just how well is nature doing it, and to optimize our functioning, and that's what Finiti does. And then also we talked about how it supports the delay in cellular aging of the cells of the immune system. And this is vitally important because as we age, our immune system ages with us. And this is one of the reasons why things may be out of balance or not work exactly correctly as we become chronologically older because of that aging immune system. So whatever we can do to delay the cellular aging of the immune system is going to be a tremendous, tremendous benefit in preserving and in youth enhancement. Now, we made it a blend of different nutrients because, we consulted with incredible formulators from all over the world and talked to them about what would be in their dream anti-aging supplement. Because we knew we had one of the fundamental causes of cellular aging, which was telomere shortening, we wanted to look at how that impacted and what other nutrients did nature put on the planet for us to consume that supported that whole physiology, that whole natural process. And what we looked at was we really need a powerful combination of nutrients that protect our DNA, because where are telomeres? But on the ends of our DNA. But the rest of our DNA is where our genes are. It's where all of the coding is, so to speak, for all of the processes that happen in our body. So we really need to protect our DNA. Another extremely important part of our renewal and rejuvenation physiology or system in the body is our own adult stem cells. And I've done papers, published scientific papers on adult stem cells and how nutrition can affect them. And so we know that it makes a difference for how our stem cells are able to work. And of course, we have the ingredient to lengthen our short telomeres if they've gotten short over time, but we also want to prevent or protect and support telomere function. So we wanted to get the whole gamut of anti-aging from a cellular level of DNA, stem cells, and telomeres and telomere support. We also wanted it to be we wanted it to work in concert or in synergy with the products that we already have. So we have it so that it works in synergy with our anti-aging supplement called AMPM, which really works with the overall 24-hour clock of our physiology. And we also have it working in synergy with our other amazing top-selling product called Reserve, which is a nutrient blend with resveratrol. So just to answer one question, which is that a lot of people wonder, well, when do I take Finiti and when do I, take AMPM or Reserve, or even sometimes Propectin comes as a question. But they all work in synergy. If you look at the diagram that we have on the website, it talks about something we call YES, and it basically stands for Youth Enhancement System. And YES is showing how the different products fit in, and that includes our Luminous products, because it really is about health and wellness and vitality and longevity from the inside and out, because don't forget our skin is the largest organ in our body, and so the health of our skin and our body's ability to rejuvenate the skin is incredibly important. And also, of course, everyone knows that the health of your skin does come from the inside and what you consume. There is a whole branch of science called nutrigenomics. And nutrigenomics talks about how nutrition, nutra, has an effect on our genes, genomics. And there are tons and tons of studies written about nutrigenomics and different nutrients and how they affect our DNA. And where are our genes located? They're located in sequences of our DNA. So what we have in Finiti are ingredients that make a difference in the DNA or the genes of our body and also our stem cells. Now, the one thing I want to mention about our stem cells, well, in future calls we'll talk even more about our adult stem cells, is that we have stem cells present in the body from the moment we're born. And what's important is that, remember, our stem cells are just like other cells in the sense that they have DNA. Now, they're very special because they can become virtually any cell in the body. So they are another layer of our body's ability to rejuvenate and to refresh and renew cells of the body. So it makes sense that, again, in this formula, we put nutrients that make a difference in our stem cells and how our stem cells work. The other thing that then works back on stem cells, and you can see how this product and even the other products like the Reserve and the AMPM and the Protectant, all the products together are kind of like an onion. There's layers and layers of how the products work on a cellular level, and those layers also affect other layers. And this is how one thing makes a difference in another. So we have, for example, a nutrient in our product is fucoidan extract and also purslane. Now, fucoidan extract and purslane extract, purslane extract comes from a plant. Fucoidan extract comes from a brown seaweed. It is a brown seaweed extract. As a matter of fact, there's an entire network marketing company just based on fucoidan extract. It is a very healthful nutrient, having all kinds of nutrigenomic effects on the body. And one of those effects is to help maintain and support our stem cells in the body, our stem cell population. And that is one of the reasons why that and the other nutrient purslane are in the Finiti formula. The other thing about stem cells is that, guess what? They have DNA. That means they have telomeres. That means their telomeres can get short. Well, if the telomeres get short in the stem cell population of our body, that means they're just not going to be as effective as a rejuvenation system as they were when we were younger. And, you know, some of that seems intuitive. It's sort of like we sort of take for granted, or that it just happens that certain things don't work as well when we get older as they did when we were younger. But we think now in science is pretty well showing that the reason for that is because our telomeres have gotten shorter in different areas. So, for example, with having Finiti having TA65MD, you've got the ability now, the body has the ability to lengthen any short telomeres in our stem cells. So our stem cells can act more like younger stem cells no matter, you know, what our age is. And those younger stem cells are going to be more effective at doing what they do, which is to rejuvenate and to refresh and renew the other cells of the body, whether it be your brain, your kidney, your liver, your toe. Your stem cells go to where your body tells it to go. So you can see how the ingredients that we put together in Finiti dovetail on each other and support each other. The fucoidan supporting the stem cell population as far as having them get released into the body, having them be effective and maintained, and then also the telomere support in helping to, if needed, lengthen the short telomeres in the stem cells, so that then the stem cells that are being released to do their job of renewal are more effective, because they're going to act more like younger stem cells. So this product has, again, so many layers that's why it's going to take several calls to really go through and get some of the incredible nuances and the incredible physiology that we're all getting from being able to take Finiti. So with that, I'm going to turn the call now over to Dr. William Anzalog, who has been a practicing physician. He's worked in anti-aging medicine, and he is also, he wears many hats. He's also the GM of the European markets, and an incredible physician and a wealth of information. Dr. Anzalog, take the floor and share with us your thoughts.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you very much. So I'm going to try to continue what you have said, and sorry for my accent. I will try to make it as much as understandable. So to go back to the basic, the core of aging is about DNA. Everybody understands that. And DNA, as we know, is attacked every day. And the problem is not to stop the attack, but to increase the maintenance system which we have inside us. So we are attacked 1 million times a day, and we have to be sure that we have a maintenance service which will repair 1 million times a day. Unfortunately, it's not the case, because after the age of 30, our maintenance service is started to be tired also, and we create a depth in terms of maintenance. So what we try to do with Finiti is to try to cover all the aspects of aging in order, one, to fight against premature aging, second, to help delaying aging, and the cream of the cream will be reversing aging. This is why we included with the TS65, we include a DNA repair ingredient complex. We include, of course, a telomerase activator, which is a TS65, but we include also a stem cell pool maintenance group of ingredients, and we also bring what we call calorie mimetic activator, which are the one which are exciting the sirtuin genes, which are normally dormant, and the sirtuin genes are the one which increase also longevity. So we come with approximately 15 ingredients. I don't want to go to every one of them, but these 15 ingredients are coherent between them, because they are going to cover all what I told you. And what I told you was the threefold: preventing premature aging, delaying aging, and even reversing aging. Also, by doing that, we are going to help something very important. We are going to help mitochondrial rejuvenation. Mitochondria is our battery, and when you start to boost this battery, you have much more energy. Also, we are going to boost the immune system, and we are going to increase bone density. And that is very, very important to do, and that's what we do with all our ingredients. So, consequently, what benefit you can see? You don't want to wait 40 years to see the benefit and say, oh, I am still young at 120. You have to start to see benefits immediately after taking the product. And that's what you are going to see mainly after 1, 2, or 3 months, depending on the people. You are going to see improvement in vision, improvement in skin with wrinkle, which will reduce elasticity of the skin. The age spots will be reduced, the dry patches will be reduced, and the skin tags also. If you want to take some biomarker and blood test, you will see that your cholesterol will be better, your blood pressure will be better, and your sugar level will be much more regulated. You will see also mental clarity and cognitive function, which will be improved. You will see your lung capacity be improved, and the strength and the recovery to be improved too. So in terms of symptoms, what you will see, better energy and endurance, better sleep, better joint, wound healing, sexual enhancement. For the moment, we have proven only with male. Thicker hairs, weight control, and something very important, better mood. We have a group of ingredients, approximately 6 to 8 ingredients, which are specialized in DNA repair and maintenance and calorie restriction mimetic. Basically what we call quercetin, pomegranate, tocotrienol, tocopherol, pterostilbene, all the vitamins, the coenzyme Q10, and the one which is increasing the glutathione release in the liver. So we have also a group, like Donna told you, which will increase the healthiest of our stem cells pool, and basically it's fucoidan and beta-glucan. Those ones are specialized in stem cells because, as Donna told you, stem cells have DNA and they can also be sick if the DNA is too much attacked. So we have the telomere lengthening with the TA65MD, but we have also ingredient which can delay the telomere shortening, like pyrrolsan, which is a kind of omega-3. You have L-carnosine and curcumin, which also can be done. So you see, all these ingredients are all together coherent, means they work in synergy to do much more than only the TA65. And I'm proud to say that we have a product which is by far more complete than TA65, and I urge you to take it 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. You can even do 6 a day, it's okay. And you will see the result. Thank you very much. Donna, the podcast is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Anzalog, and we're going to sign off for this evening or afternoon, depending on when you are listening to this. And our call is every other Wednesday at this time. That is 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And so we will see you in 2 weeks in the next every other Wednesday, and have an awesome, fruitful, and fun, prosperous Jeunesse Day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. So what we know is every year the telomere are shortening by approximately 40 base pair. Let's suppose that thanks to our product we can reduce that by 50%. Then it will be reduced only by 20 base pair every year, which means that in 2 years you will already recuperate the chronological age that you were supposed to lose. And after that it will be pure bonuses, which means that every year you will have a reducing number of base pair which are lost normally. And that's of course it's a long-term work. But let's talk a little more about short-term. If you start to take Finiti, the telomeres will start to lengthen immediately because the activation of the telomeres will be almost immediate. Now, it doesn't mean that everything will be repaired overnight. It means simply that the telomeres are not anymore shortening because telomerase is activated not in every cell in one shot, but in many, many cells. So yes, the good things is starting immediately, means by the first pill that you are taking. Now, let's suppose that you are in a cell which is taking care of the vessels. The vessels is full of, of this calcaire, which gives this arteriosclerosis. Now, it will not get away immediately. It will take a little time to clear the arteries. So yes, the system will start to work, but the consequences of the disease which have been provoked by the telomere shortening will be a little time. It will take a little time. Now, what's good is that within a month, things will start to be better. You will notice, for instance, that your skin is better, but you don't know what. It's people who are going to tell you, what have you done in your skin? What's going on with you? Is it something that you changed? Did you do some surgery? The second thing is you're going to have better energy every morning. You wake up, you have better energy. You don't know why you have this energy coming. Also, you have a better sleep. When you go to sleep, you will sleep in one shot. I have many witnesses of people who said, I used to wake up twice a night to go to the toilet, but not anymore. I'm doing all my night. Another thing, joints. You will notice for people who are over 50 or over 60, they will find out that their pain in the joint are not the same than before. Also, focus in memory. And memory, you will find out very quickly that you have a better memory, you have, a better concentration. And that comes slowly. Now, when I said slowly, within a month, within 2 months, within 3 months, depending on the people. That is the normal action on telomeres, which are now stopped to shorten. Libido also, sexual reinforcement, and certainly for men, they will find out that they have a better libido. Vision. We have seen many people starting to find out that their glasses are not anymore good, that there's something wrong with their glass. So they go to see their ophthalmologist or the optometrist, and he is going to check and say, but you know what? The dioptry that you have are not anymore accurate. You have to reduce the number of dioptry in your glasses, and so on and so on. So the results are progressive, but they are here. We have hundreds and hundreds of testimonials which are doing that, which are showing that. So to make a long story short, yes, with Finiti, telomeres are stopping shortening almost immediately. But the results, or in a clinical way, in symptoms, will take a little later to show. And also, but some symptoms will come immediately. Some good things will come immediately, like better vision, better memory, better focus, better energy. So this is why I said, take Finiti. Take a minimum of 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. If you can take 6 is better, and if you can take 8, why not? It's a question of budget. Thank you very much, everybody. We will talk much more about other products later. Donna, the podcast is yours.
Well, thank you so much, William. That was amazing. The more I hear about this product, the more happy I am that I get to take it, and that we have it, and that we have the exclusive to that very special ingredient that does lengthen short telomeres in humans. I want to talk just a little bit about another ingredient in Finiti, and that ingredient is fucoidan. Now, fucoidan is one of those ingredients that is a natural ingredient, and it comes from brown seaweed. Now, there's lots of different kinds of seaweed. There's green seaweed, there's red seaweed, and there is brown seaweed. And brown seaweed has a very special what they call polysaccharides, meaning many chains of sugars. And these chains of sugars are not like the table sugar that you might eat, but they are nutrients. They are nutritionally active molecules, and that's what fucoidan is a polysaccharide. It has incredible amount of research on it as far as research that's been done and published in scientific studies. As a matter of fact, fucoidan has been cited in over 1,030 studies and counting. It's incredible how much information there is on fucoidan, and over 900 of those studies are on PubMed. If you guys go to PubMed, fucoidan has tremendous properties that go together as being a commanding anti-aging or youth-enhancing ingredient. For example, it has immune support function. It has circulatory support function. It also has antioxidant function and some detoxification type function. As far as letting your body get rid of some toxins that it might not otherwise be able to rid itself before. The other thing that fucoidan has been shown to be able to do in studies is to maintain our healthy inflammation balance. And this is very important. You almost can't eat or get enough nutrients that help maintain that healthy inflammation balance, because a little inflammation is incredibly good and needed in the body to be healthy, but too much inflammation or chronic or constant, even low-grade inflammation can cause lots and lots of damage in the body. So fucoidan is an incredibly potent, should I say, nutrient that we felt had such synergistic way to work with the other ingredients in Finiti, which is why fucoidan is one of the other main ingredients in Finiti. Another thing that fucoidan does is it really helps maintain our stem cells. Now, again, in Jeunesse, we mostly talk about stem cells and stem cell technology in and how it relates to skincare, and our stem cell technology with the skincare we have with the Luminesce line. However, we also have in our bodies, as soon as from the moment we're born, we have our own stem cells, and they're called adult stem cells. Hence, there's no controversy about these kinds of stem cells because they are adult stem cells. And they're present in our body from the moment we're born. A lot of those stem cells are present in the bone marrow. A lot of those stem cells are also scattered throughout the body. We have stem cells in the brain. We have stem cells in the liver. We have stem cells in the heart. And those stem cells are there for the purpose of rejuvenation. We are about rejuvenation. We are about assisting and supporting our body's natural ability to rejuvenate, to renew itself, to refresh itself. And our stem cell population is a huge way that our body does this. Now, a couple things. One, fucoidan helps to maintain our adult stem cell population, and there's studies on that in the literature. Also, guess what? Stem cells have a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there's DNA, and at the ends of those DNA there's telomeres. So our stem cells also have telomeres. And so if our telomeres in the stem cells also get shortened, then our stem cells won't work as effectively. So as our shortest telomeres are becoming lengthened, we're also working with our stem cells to help our stem cells be as effective as possible by having their telomeres not shorten and not have issues with the telomeres. And so you're getting this synergistic working with each other as far as the nutrients go of fucoidan helping to maintain our adult stem cells, which is incredibly important for our body's ability to rejuvenate. And also then we have the telomere part of the story where our stem cells now can be like young stem cells because their telomeres will not necessarily be as short. And so we have the lengthening of telomeres also relating to our stem cells. So you can see here how this product is, it becomes almost like exponential as far as ingredients, working with ingredients and letting the body do what it wants to do. And this is really the key concept. If we would just give the body what it needs and let the body do its natural functions, then everything takes care of itself. And everybody, then we can start to feel great, look great, have great energy, have great stamina, and be essentially what is thought of as young. Because young isn't really only in age. Youth and feeling young has to do with how you feel, how you look at life. It's partly your attitude. It's also the way that you can do things, that you're not limited. And so we have an incredible company and product with Finiti, and the whole concept of our youth enhancing products and the ability to rejuvenate our cells. So thank you. I'm going to sign off, and I hope to see you guys on our next call, which will be not this next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. And you're going to get an e-blast as to what we're going to be doing and talking about on those next calls. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.